guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be discussing briefly about employment verification and how it works, and we're also going to recap, we're going to rewind a few things that I discussed in my last video. So if you are interested in this video, make sure you keep on watching. Okay, so guys, listen. We know that with all kinds of different programs out there, things are going to always change and evolve, and you have to make sure that you keep up with it. So when I made my last video that was put out last week Wednesday, I was talking about the interest rates and the buy down and things like that. I just wanted to come back and clarify some things that I said about the interest rate and the buy down points. So I have my notes here with me, so I want to briefly go over that before we get into the employment verification that Naca does in regards to your employment. So I got my notes. So we know that the interest rates have changed as far as for priority and non-priority members. We know that the amount of points for a buy down has changed. I'm not sure why Naca is changing this. I think that they are now finding that they're having more members participate in the program, and as members are starting to come to Naca because they want a chance to be able to purchase a home with little to no money down, or no money down, just the minimum required funds, they are now having to revamp their program just a tad bit. And that's the only conclusion that I can think of. I haven't spoken with a in-house counselor or anybody who works with Naca. This is just my thought, and I'm just like, well, you know, as time goes on, it's bound to happen anyway. There are going to be changes made, and people aren't going to like it. Some people will agree to it, but you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. Naca is still one of the best programs out there that don't require any money down, no closing costs, and you can get you a brand new home or a home that has already been previously built. So it's totally up to you, but we have to make sure that we stay on top of, you know, reading and our research. So really quick, I just want to discuss the interest rate. So we know that for the priority members whose income is much lower than a non-priority member, those members get for a 30-year mortgage, each 1% of the loan amount will permanently reduce Naca's below market fixed interest rate by 1/6%. So, and then for a 15-year mortgage, each 1% of the loan amount will permanently reduce by 1/4. And that is for priority members. So with priority members, you have a better chance of getting a lower interest rate because you are already getting the advantage of having your interest rate reduced by 1%. And so with non-priority members, you don't have that. You're going to be able to purchase a home at whatever that interest rate is on that specific day before you lock it in. And you can still reduce or buy down your interest rate. You would just have to probably come out a little bit more from your funds to bring your interest rate down compared to those priority members. And the maximum amount the member may reduce the interest rate is 5 to 6 points. So 6 points is the max. So this has all taken effective, I believe, April 12th, 2021. Okay, so let's get into employment verification. So you know that I always tell you guys to make sure that you do your research, make sure that you follow through with your Naca counselors in regards to any questions that you may have. I know that you may come on my channel and you may ask me questions, and I'm solely giving you my opinion based off my personal experience when I went through the Naca program. So I went through the Naca program and I bought my home in April of 2020. And I closed on April 13th, actually, to be exact. And so it's been a little over a year since my husband and I bought our home. And we bought a brand new construction home. A lot of people don't think you can get a new construction home using the Naca program, but I am here to tell you, you can. So with employment verification, so you do know with Naca, you have to be employed for at least one full consecutive calendar year. Now, if there are any breaks in employment, I believe it cannot be any more than 30 days, and you have to provide a letter of explanation stating the reason why there was a break in employment. So basically what happens is NACA is going to ask for your income, of course, because they want to see that you are in fact employed. So as you are going through the NACA program, working to become qualified, NACA is going to not only request income several times, but they are also going to send over an employment verification form to your employer. Now, one of my subscribers, I'm not going to say the name, but hey girl, hey, she asked about the employment verification and are we responsible for paying? And as far as I know, NACA members are not responsible for paying for the employment verification. Now, if that has changed, please let your girl know, because I'm telling you, a lot of things are changing with NACA and it's like I can't keep up no more. So, but as far as I know, employment verification, you do not need to pay for that. Now, in her case, the employment verification form was sent over to her employer, and her employer told her counselor at NACA that they needed to verify that information via the work number. Now, the work number is a system or a website where you go to verify people's employment. So for instance, if you can't find your check stubs or whatnot, if you need to verify the last date of employment or the beginning of your employment, a lot of people have access to the work number. So in her case, the counselor told her that she would be responsible for paying, I think it was $45 or $49 to verify the information. And I'm like, wait, no, you're not supposed to be paying that. So I asked her to make sure she get a second opinion. She did say that her NACA counselor was fairly new, so maybe the NACA counselor is unaware that there is a form that the HR representative is supposed to complete. My HR person completed my employment verification form, and to be honest, my NACA counselor requested 2 employment verification forms. She requested one from my old employer and one from my new employer. And I believe it was because when I switched jobs right when I started back the NACA process, and I'm assuming that my NACA counselor wanted to see exactly if there was any breaks in between the time when I stopped working. And for me, I put my 2 weeks in, and then I started at the new job, so I had no breaks of employment. I went right into my new job once my 2 weeks ended at my old job, but she still wanted to verify employment with my old job. So all counselors are a little different. Some will do more than others. Some will do the less, the bare minimum, to be able to get what they need from you. It just depends on who you have. But you do not, or you should not be paying for your employment verification. That information should go directly from your NACA counselor via email to your HR person. Your HR person completes it and then returns it back to your mortgage counselor. That information should not go to you. Now, the previous counselor I had before my last counselor, she gave me the employment verification form to give to my HR. And that's why I said a lot of counselors are not the same. They don't operate the same. But my last counselor, in fact, told me that I should not be giving the employment verification form to my employer, as well as the rental verification form. Those 2 documents should be emailed from your NACA counselor to your employer and to the person who you are renting from they should complete it and then return it back to your mortgage counselor without it even coming to you. And I'm assuming they don't want you to alter it in any kind of way. They want to make sure that you didn't have anything to do with the form being completed. That is basically how the employment verification works. Your employment verification will be completed or requested at least twice. And also your NACA counselor will verify employment, I believe, before you are qualified, after you're qualified, and right before you close. So the bank will call to verify your employment, and in my case, I think the same day that my information was verified as far as my employment for my husband and I, we received our clear to close, better known as CTC, not too long after our employment was verified. So your employment will be verified a few times throughout the process of you going through NACA to become qualified. So up until your closing, your employment will be verified on paper at least twice, and then they're going to call. They're going to make that phone call because right before closing, they want to make sure that you are still employed. So, because if anything happens, then you have to get requalified all over again. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video today, and I hope that it answered some of your questions in regards to employment verification and how it works and how they are to verify your employment. Just know that NACA will verify your employment on paper at least 2 times, and then they're going to verify it via phone call to your employer directly. And like I said, I believe the bank also calls your employer to verify it. Now, I'm not for certain if the bank is calling or if your mortgage counselor is calling right before you receive your CTC. But either way it goes, they will be calling your employer. So make sure you are still employed, honey, because if you're not, then it's going to be a problem. So once again, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that red subscribe button below and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure to share my videos, and also again, make sure to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.